And here we have Cote Bonneville's 2015 Carriage House blend from De Brule Vineyard, which is their estate vineyard. This is a pretty classic blend of Bordeaux varietals aged in 70%, 76% new French oak, which is relatively high, but actually not so high when we talk about some of the very kind of top of the line blue chip Bordeaux blends from around the world. This is mostly Cabernet Sauvignon with some Merlot and Cab Franc as well. And this is just grown up adult wine. This has long legs, elegant, velvety texture with a whole lot of power behind it to really drive this through any sort of food pairing you have in mind with a big, rich red meat dish.
And this was hand harvested. And could you tell us, like, I know there's some grapes being harvested by machine, but what makes this so special being hand harvested?
Absolutely. And so when we think about some of these varietals that end up spending a long time to ripen, Cabernet Sauvignon being one of them, we really want to be as gentle with them as possible as we bring them into the winery. That then allows the winemaker as many tools as possible to take the wine in whatever direction that he or she wants to take it. Machine harvesting, there are some very sophisticated machine harvesters out there, but when we're talking about these expertly handmade wines, you really need the delicacy of people actually clipping the clusters off of the grapevines, putting them in a bucket, and then loading them onto a tractor to bring them into your vineyard to really preserve the skins of the fruit, prevent the juice from being released before it's time for fermentation, to allow the winemaker to be in total control of which way that wine is going to develop.
And because this is a family vineyard, the Shields family, they are in total control of the vineyard and the grapes. I wanted to tell you about the illustration on the front of the bottle. Cote Bonneville is an estate in Ohio that was built by the winemaker Carrie Shields' great-great-grandfather, Napoleon de Brule, next to where this carriage house was already standing. So the structure was later converted into a chapel where her mother and father, Hugh and Kathy, were married. So it's very special to the family. And so Hugh and Kathy had founded their De Brule Estate vineyards in Yakima Valley, and her dad is still managing the vineyards. But recently the family lost their pioneering matriarch. She was forward-thinking in her approach to farming, and Carrie will continue to carry her torch.
And Yakima Valley is still in eastern Washington, but closer to the foothills of the Cascades. So we see a little higher elevation, cooler nights, a little higher acid, a little more tartness, even in a bigger wine like this, that really helps make this wine really harmoniously come together. Especially with, as I was talking about, big red meat dishes, we have this paired with braised short ribs. Classic pairing for a Cabernet-based wine. Rich, flavor-packed, slow cooking red meat that this wine is going to provide the tannins and the acid to help really complement the unctuous nature of a dish like short ribs.
Yeah, there's aromas of, dark fruits like blackberry and ripe strawberry mushrooms. Got the soy sauce component to it from the barrel aging, because it's a 2015. It's just a powerful sip. More black fruits and raspberry, dried herbs. This robust tannins. It's such a long finish. But you can drink this now. It's been aged, but because of the quality of these grapes, of these vineyards, this can still sit for the next 8 to 10 years.
These wines are some of the pinnacle wines of Eastern Washington. While they're very display so much complexity of fruit when they're young, the trajectory as they age is really spectacular to witness if you have the discipline to sit on these bottles before popping them.
Yeah, well, that's why you drink one now, sell the other one for later.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Cheers.